Welcome to Startup Week 2022. Woo! This is our last event panelist for the week. We're incredibly excited for that. Please stick around for our closing remarks. We appreciate you being here. We had over 50 events this week, and it has been absolutely incredible. So it's been 14 tracks highlighting different industries in our community. Each track is a different industry, so that's been absolutely incredible to highlight all the hard work that's happening in our community. If you didn't get a chance to go see it, a lot of it is going to be on Tallahassee Startup Week Facebook page, so be sure to check it out there. We also have a full schedule at domainstation.org/TLH Startup Week. Feel free to check out all the previous events that we did. You get an idea of what we did all week long, but it really was connecting, collaborating through organic collision, so it was absolutely incredible. We also still have time for you to join us 4 to 7 at Ebon Adams to celebrate this incredible week. And with that, I will invite Julia Hawley to come up and introduce our final panel.
Hi everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. Really excited to introduce you our moderator, Jessica Duncan. We actually met first through our kids because our daughters were in the same class at Bucklake Elementary, and ever since then, I just kind of followed Jessica on her journey. We kept bumping into the same events, and we're just like, we're mompreneurs. We really can relate. And so it's always great to see what Jessica's up to, because what she does with Fun for Tally Kids is really, I feel like, really helps support small businesses in town and nonprofit organizations and all the events that happen. So if you want to know what's going on in Tallahassee, she's the best person to talk to. I'm just going to go ahead and introduce her so she can tell everyone a little bit more about Fun for Tally Kids, and then she'll introduce our panelists. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Thank you. I think I might, but I'm hearing an echo.
No.
Is there an echo? Is it good? Okay. Hey everybody, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us in this cold weather. But the good news is it's nice and toasty in here. You can sit back and relax and kind of enjoy. What we're going to be talking about is the future innovators of Tallahassee. Our panel needs 3 separate local organizations, and they each will be sharing information about their individual programs and organizations, as well as how they're able to help steer our local youth to become successful innovators in our community. They'll also share ways that you as a member of our local community can help and become involved. So my name is Jessica Duncan. I am the owner of funfortallykids.com. It is an online resource for families who are looking for things to do with their kids and for their kids in the Tallahassee area. There is a directory of over 2,000 listings. My main social media platform is Facebook, and I have about 25,000 followers there. Our website gets 100,000 page views every month, all by local parents. And my big annual event is the Kid Biz Fair. I have to plug that. That's coming up this Sunday at Bannerman Crossings, which is also part of Startup Week. So I know we're kicking off the finale today, but there's one last thing. In Bannerman Crossings, we have 45 kids who are going to be showcasing their own businesses, ages 6 through 18, at Bannerman Crossings, 1 to 4 this Sunday. So I would love for everybody to come out and support them. So now to kick off this discussion, I'd like each panelist to briefly give sort of a broad overview, introduce yourself, and give a broad overview of your organization. Am I good with the mic? I'm hearing something in my ear. Okay. And then we'll go into further details as we go through the questions. So if you want to start on the end, go for it.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me? All right, okay. Thank you. I appreciate that, Jessica. My name is Jennifer Donald. I am the Executive Director of Teenpreneurs Foundation. We're a 15-year-old nonprofit that's located here in Tallahassee. We started here in Tallahassee. And we work with teenagers that are interested in starting their own business. We help them at their level understand what a business model is, what it means to put together a business plan, what that consists of, all the different sections, all the different parts, how to brand themselves. We talk to them about putting their company colors, coming up with a logo, coming up with a name for their organization, for their entity, whether it's a nonprofit or for-profit. And we really just speak to that passion. We let them understand that they have an entrepreneurial spirit. If they have a passion for doing something or have a hobby, they can turn that into a business and it can become lucrative. So we just teach them about that, and we've been doing that for the last 15 years. So we're really excited to be here, and that's my name, again, Jennifer Donald. I'm a native of Tallahassee, Florida, graduate of the School of Business and Industry at Florida A&M University, and just glad to be giving back to the community of which I grew up. So thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm Curry Henry. I am the co-founder of Scientia and Young Engineers Tallahassee. We are a STEM enrichment program. We teach engineering design concepts to grades kindergarten through high school. That includes code and robotics and a variety of other STEM disciplines. We believe that the early to start a child in the sciences will create a better outcome for them, 20 years down the road. We do truly feel that there is a lot of talent in this city, a lot of creative minds in our youth, and we just want to harness that talent and direct it to somewhere productive that can benefit the city overall in the long term. So that's who we are.
My name is Laura Leonard, and I work for First Robotics as a senior mentor, and I also am one of the founding members of TallyRobotics, a local organization in Tallahassee. And I will be talking a little bit about both of those today, but first is more than robots. The idea is that we're using robots to get students excited about STEM and problem solving in the world. And as an extension of that, TallyRobotics works locally to get students engaged in those programs. And we have, First has programs for pre-K through 18, and then TallyRobotics has 9-year-olds through 18.
My name is Scott Leonard. I'm the president of TallyRobotics. And we started TallyRobotics well after we actually started with robotics. We had teams meeting in our living room, in our kitchen, in our dining room. Our son actually went to a robotics camp here in the Mary program when we were working on that. And he came home with the passion of wanting to be able to do more with the Lego robotics. And so we actually bought him one of the robotic kits. And like all the other toys, it was fun for a little bit, but then it kind of stopped. So we started looking for ways to re-engage with that investment in the robot, but also in our child. So we started looking around and found First Robotics, and we were able to start a team ourselves. And then we're in 2022, we've got 8 teams, and we're looking for space and partnerships with different organizations. So it's just been a real passion project for us. And TallyRobotics' goal is we provide free coach training across the Panhandle on the coaches who want to start teams and the resources they need. So we really want to grow the robotics programs in the schools and the community around the whole Panhandle so that we can grow more kids in this STEAM environment.
All right, you sort of answered my first question, because I was going to ask you all how you got started. So if Kari, you want to let us know, how did you get started with Young Entrepreneurs?
A couple of years ago, I think for all of us who are the co-founders, my colleagues, Cheryl Lawson and my brother, Kasima Henry, we have always had a passion for education, and we always had a love for science. And we felt that the time in our life was really, it was time for us to take a new track based on what we were doing already at the time. And so we decided, let's go ahead and start a business in this particular field, because we really feel that the time is now becoming where Tallahassee is growing to the point where a lot of investment from outside partners are bringing in talent. They're bringing in companies. We have Amazon and other companies that are coming to Tallahassee. So looking at the direction and the trajectory of the city, we felt that now's the time for us to be a part of that investment and really start something to actually help in that initiative and really building the city and the region up.
My husband and I started out with a for-profit company, Metropolitan Design and Consulting Group, and we were working with adults that are interested in starting their own business. We were helping them to put their business plans together, do SWOT analysis, and folks kept saying, you know, this is great what you're doing, the workshops and one-on-one. Why don't you work with kids that are interested in starting their own business? So we actually, from Metropolitan Design, Teenpreneurs was birthed. So we started workshops and summer camps and working with kids after school, and we found that there was really a big interest. They were actually, you know, starting their businesses with their parents. So we really saw that there was a need to work with kids. Now, they didn't have to wait until they go to school, go to college, get older. They have amazing ideas right now. So we started that about 15 years ago, kind of ahead of the curve. But we are so proud of the entrepreneurs that we've birthed and the ideas that they have, that some of the businesses that they still have today. So it was birthed from a for-profit that, you know, the nonprofit came out of that. So
I've heard all of you say that there's certain age ranges for the different organizations that you have. So can you describe what kind of programs you have to offer for the various age ranges?
Yes, I can. Well, why don't you start with the.
Okay. Yes, so we have First Lego League, which encompasses 3 programs. Starting with Discover is a pre-K to about 1st grade, and it uses Duplo. And it is in partnership with Lego Education. So the idea is, you know, a few children are working with the STEAM Park set, and they're learning basic STEM ideas, employees and simple machines, and the application of those and solving problems together with another person, which if you're 4 years old, if you have a 4-year-old, you know how challenging that can be. The next level, Explore, is for students that are about 2nd and maybe up to 5th grade, and they use a Spike Essential robot. They start learning how to solve some problems, do some basic programming, and they are also working on a real-world solution for a problem and presenting that at their end of the year celebration.
Does your phone have a camera?
And the last level, which is what we started with, is now First Lego League Challenge. They use this Spike robot or an XT or an EV3 Lego education program. They are programming a robot to autonomously solve missions on a 4 by 8 foot table with Lego structures. The robot interacts with those structures to gain points and has to be able to come home. It has to be completely autonomous. The students do all of the programming and they build all of the attachments for the robot. And they also have an innovation project where they solve a real world problem. Some students even get their solutions patented. If they do really well, they get to meet the president. It's pretty exciting stuff. And then they are also learning the engineering and design process. So they're documenting and learning how to explain why their product does what it does.
And then moving on, I do have the 7th through 12th grade.
They have a full schedule, but they're not giving one.
Competition.
It doesn't match.
Have up to 15 students on a team. Their robots works on a 12-foot by 12-foot map
Before
on
this
the ground.
schedule, they were gonna need a 5 microphones at
And there are 4 robots on the field. 2 in a
Which they
red
didn't
line,
use.
2 in a
We have
blue
6
line. They
microphones.
work together.
Nobody's
Their
using
line
them.
partner to score. They're 2.5 minutes.
He's holding it. He's just got it so far from his face.
One thing that's really big in all of these
You didn't need mics at all in class or
competitions is cooperation, integration, professionalism. Because this isn't battle bots. When you're working with this alliance partner in this match against those two, that partner over that team over there is probably going to be your partner in one of your future matches. So if the robot isn't working or they're having a problem, you're going to want to help them out so that you do better as well. And then the highest level is 8th through 12th grade. And that's our first robotics competition. The robot can be up to 5 feet tall and weigh 120 pounds. And they compete on a basketball size. We actually had a competition at the Lawson Center last earlier this year. And it was the first one ever. We already have it scheduled to happen. Plus teams for around the country.
Turn hers down.
Just a little bit. I could do it.
In Australia.
I'll just turn it on.
Which one is she? The
Coming
blonde.
to Tallahassee. That's amazing.
Who? She's sitting.
The blonde.
Yeah, with the blonde hair.
She is.
The regional competitions for FRC are
Right
a rather large number.
I've already
I'm on the
turned her
board
down.
for the first regional competition.
I was having
for
a year ago.
Tallahassee. TallyRobotics is considering becoming the program delivery partner.
Oh,
for
no, I just got it.
the organization that runs the event.
Just heard.
We have a partner down in Orlando, her name's Rachel Austin. She's been the region director of that competition for a long time. And so we met up with her a few years ago. And we
Understood.
had the opportunity to get in Tallahassee for a few years. And COVID happened, and right as we were starting to make all the connections, but we had now a partnership with the college and the family. So that's really.
I just think they just don't understand how this stuff actually works.
I don't know either.
Right.
I'll be back.
We've already seen the positive outcome of having that competition here because as Carrie said, our area is ready. Our area is ready for more activity like this and there's room for everybody at the table. And so this kind of activity just helps, brings all of the students and all of the people who are involved together.
Curry, what kind of different programs do you have from different age levels?
We have actually we've established a variety of different programs to reach a broad spectrum of our demographic. We have a summer camp that we have is about 5 weeks. It just started 6 weeks this past year, but it's about a 6-week summer camp for grades kindergarten through 8th grade. And it's a time for it's really based on hands-on project-based activities, and it's through a variety of different disciplines in STEM. It included 3D printing, motorized Legos, GIS mapping, coding, languages, and a variety of other agricultural sciences. And so it was really an opportunity for kids to work in teams to explore different theories and different hypotheses and different activities in STEM and different science activities. It's an opportunity for them to engage more with people from different areas of the community, and It's an opportunity for them to also get introduced to subjects they've never really had before. And so that's our summer camp, and we just had our first summer camp. It's a week-long camp at the dummy station this past summer, where we were teaching digital design and 3D printing to high school students. And so for many of them, it was the first time to learn about material sciences, how to work a 3D printer, those types of things. And that's for high school students. We are also have a workshop on weekends every month. We'll do a workshop, whether it be Lego activities, if it might be built about circuits, it could be about 3D printing and different science activities we do on weekends as well. And that would range usually from 4-year-olds up through the 12 years old, different activities uh, in those areas. And those are usually on every other weekend. We have that different locations throughout the city. The Tallahassee Museum, the Dummy Station. We've been there before. Southwood Community Center, Northside Community Center, and we're also expanding to other areas such as the Laverne Community Center and other areas around the city. We also have another program that we launched this fall here. It's an after school program at Sable Palm Elementary, and that's gonna be from second grade through fifth grade. And for them, it's going to be also an opportunity for them to explore different areas of the sciences. For many of them, they've never been introduced or had these opportunities before. So we have them working on digital design as well. They're also doing different chemistry and physics activities. And so our partnerships or us working with the local universities allows us to really utilize the talent that we have at the university level to really bring that into the schools so that the young kids can see here's a pathway where you can actually be in 10 years. So you can get to see graduate students who are working in the sciences, who are working in engineering. So they get to see someone who represents what they actually can be, 10, 15 years down the road. So those really are the programs we have at the time, and we are looking to expand different opportunities the next year or two.
And our programs are geared towards kids that are between the ages of 9 and 19. So basically, we just work with them, group them based on their age group. But we have different levels. It's the Hope program, the Legacy program, and our mentoring program. But with all of those programs, the kids are learning at their level what it means to put a business model together, to come up with an idea, to take their passion, their hobby, what they're interested in, and actually turn it into, again, a business with the name, with the logo. We have our graphic designer here, who's actually my daughter, who sits down with each of the kids and asks them, what are some of your favorite colors? What business do you see yourself starting? What would be the name of that business? So they literally take all of that information and put together some amazing logo designs so the kids actually see their ideas come into fruition. They see it before them, and that really pushes them to say, hey, maybe I really can, become an entrepreneur. I don't have to wait. I can put my business model together. I can present my business plan. I have my logo. I have my design, the name of my company. But that's basically what we're doing. We're just speaking to them and their hobbies, their passion, and letting them know they can really make this reality and become an entrepreneur at their age. We have a summer camp that's about 6 to 8 weeks long. During that time, each week we focus on a different area. We even had a CPA to come in and speak with them at their level about what it means to manage your business finances as well as your personal finances. We had a doctor to come in to talk to them about emotional intelligence. It takes a lot to be an entrepreneur, being able to handle your emotions, even at your age as an entrepreneur. So each week we concentrate on a different subject to make them, better persons and better entrepreneurs and get them started. We had field trips too on Friday. We let them be kids, and we would go to different places throughout Tallahassee. One time we went to the Capitol. Some of them had never been to the Capitol, the 22nd floor of the Capitol. We went to District 850, so different things like that. So basically it's set up where each week they're networking amongst themselves. They're learning from presenters that come in that are actually entrepreneurs. Each week a different entrepreneur would come in and speak with them about how they started their business. So it was really encouraging, and we're really excited about expanding again to our after school programming as well. But that's basically what we do.
Okay, so I feel like we have sort of an overview of what each organization does. And so in terms of our future innovators of Tallahassee, specifically, what will high school students gain from being a part of your organization? And how do you prepare students for the 21st century tech jobs and in your case, Jennifer, you know, startup businesses and new businesses?
I can start out by just indicating that or saying that what we do is just concentrate on speaking to their passion, speaking to what they like to do, and letting them know in order to be successful, they're going to need to go to college. We don't discourage them from going to college. We know that being an entrepreneur, you need the skills. So college readiness is a part of what we do. So to me, that's really important. We stress that college readiness and just, again, being in tune with who you are. And understanding that you don't have to wait, you can become an entrepreneur right now, you know, with the right skill set, with the right information. So we're preparing them in that way, teaching them again the importance of emotional intelligence, the importance of life skills. We're teaching them how to write through teaching them how to do their business plan. So we're touching on all of those skills. That's basically
In our program, the way we approach it is through project-based, hands-on activities that allows the child or the student to be creative, innovative. So they're not just following the 1, 2, 3 steps. They can explore to find solutions to problems. Instead of someone telling them this is how you do it, A, B, C, and D, we allow them to try and engage in activity. What is the best way to resolve or to find the solution to whatever it is you're working on? So you have a tangible output or a resolution to whatever you're working on that is the best result. So having a child be able to think outside the box, to think creatively, that helps them to build the confidence that they are learning the subject matter of what they're actually engaging in. And it also gives them the confidence to feel that they can actually do this. We also have them do presentations as well in our programs. Being able to speak in front of your peers is really important because that also allows them to feel confident and comfortable articulating what they're actually learning. If they're able to speak that's not rehearsed, if they're able to speak in a way that they can explain what they learn instead of just through memorization, if they can actually speak to it, it actually demonstrates a real learning aptitude of what the project that they're engaged in. So our approach really is to let the kids explore, let them try and understand the subject matter, and really just think innovatively and creatively.
So first programs are pretty holistic, and this is one of the things that really attracted us to it because we also homeschooled our children. So having something that incorporated research and math and writing and public speaking, as well as the programming and science, we sort of did a giddy little dance about it because we just loved the whole idea. And that is what it is at every level. So at those high school levels, the students are submitting an engineering notebook that also tells the story of their team, how they designed a robot, how they did everything how they learned how to 3D print their parts, why they decided to use this piece rather than that piece in the design and build of their robot, why they chose to use one type of code over another. And so they have to present that to judges and communicate. They also are expected to do community outreach, not just to attract sponsors and mentors, but to help others in their community. So we have one team that has helped some Girl Scouts get their STEM badges. Yeah, I wasn't in charge of that, so. So the younger children are talking to experts in the field. They get to meet different experts. Our middle group does that presentation, and then our high school group can present a business plan because it is a big business. They need tens of thousands of dollars to operate every year, especially if they want to travel. The robot is very expensive. So they have to learn how to go and talk to sponsors, ask them for funding, explain why a sponsor should support them. So we really do see positive outcomes. And first is participating in a long-term study with Brandeis University to study the outcomes. And they are seeing that the students who are coming through these programs are ready to collaborate and speak into those 21st century skills that employers are looking for. $80 million in scholarships. Not ever supposed to. They're our partners with FIRST to offer $80 million in scholarships for FIRST students.
Any high school student who participates on FIRST team is eligible for $80 million in scholarships. And those are universities.
They can apply.
Right, they can apply for $80 million in scholarships at multiple universities around the country. It's not all in one spot, but so that it is a great opportunity. And like Laura was saying, like the FRC team, the high school team, their budget is about $25,000 each year to register the team, to travel to the competitions. Now, luckily now, our local team doesn't have to travel to go to a competition. We used to have to go to Orlando every year, but we still would like them to go to a second competition. So the students who participate on these teams at the high school level, not everybody wants to build a robot. Not everybody wants to write some code. So we have marketing people. We have people coming up with a business plan. We have people working on 3D printing, doing CAD work and design work, and reaching out to do public outreach and participate in STEM Day at the Capitol and some of these other outreaches that we do. So they are developing their elevator pitch and their ability to look someone in the eye and speak to them at a level of knowledge that they can demonstrate that they do understand why this robot was built this way. And, the teams aren't allowed to buy ready-made kits of something. Like they can't buy something that has more than 1 degree of motion. So they can't buy a hand that can reach out and grab and spin around. They have to build everything. Or if they want to buy something pre-made, it can only have one. It can only do one thing. It can't be something really complicated. So they're having to design and work out on a whiteboard or a napkin. Their robot design. And every year the challenges are different. So it's not like you can just have to build it once and then use it every year. Last year the robots for the FRC team had to climb. They had to climb up some parallel bars. And one team in the country, the world, I guess in Canada, right? They decided that their robot would be able to jump. So their robot, they had 3 different bars to climb, and they would just skip the first 2 bars and jump up and grab onto the 3rd bar.
Do they know what the challenge is going in?
Every year at the beginning, if there's a kickoff event for each level, and that's when the field is revealed and the challenge. So the FRC team, they have basically 6 weeks to build and design their robot and solve the problem. So it's a mad dash. But it is, like Laura said, it's the whole gamut. It's not just somebody who wants to do this. There's needed spots on the team for all of it.
But it also answers the question, why do I need to know this? I have walked into his team room so many times where he's been explaining why you need to know pi. And like your kid is going to come home. Why do I need to learn this? I'm never going to use this. This is why you use it. Degrees of rotation. You need to know this. So it's a great opportunity for them.
So would any of you be able to share a success story that you have seen within your program?
I'd like to start with Jarvis. He actually was, I don't know what his last name. He was referred to us by Judge Tiffany Baker. She's part of our 2nd Judicial Circuit. She had been working with him. He had gotten in some trouble, and she wanted him to become a part of our program. Amazing kid. He very talented. just didn't realize that it was within him. So within a week, we feel like we were able to pull out that passion and that his interest. So we found out what it really was that he was, interested in, why he got in trouble in the first place, trying to make fast money. We explained to him, you can make fast money with this talent that you have. You're amazing at it. So we helped him, day by day, just put his ideas together, come up with a name for his company colors, come up with a business model, his social media platform. We were just able to help him with every aspect of his business, as well. And we are so proud to say that he started the business and he's going forth. He promised he won't get any more trouble. But we feel that, if you could just replace, the guns and the negativity with a pen, let them write their vision down and make it plain so that they can really run with it. It is just that simple. It's in them. They want to do the right thing. They just need direction. So that's something that we feel like we were able to give him. And that's really what we give to all the kids that come through our programs. And we try to match them up with individuals like this so that they can come in and talk to them about the different areas. Because they really don't know what they're good at until, you introduce to them the different areas. So that was our success story that was recent. So we're excited about that.
I think for us, a success story is really just for the kids who come to our programs. Each one of them are a success, and we're really proud of the work they do. One student in particular this past summer, however, he had never really been around electronics or around really STEM activities. And it was the first time he actually learned about 3D printing. When the camp initially started off, we were teaching them about material science, and I think there was really a confusion because they didn't really understand what was the purpose of this. As the camp went along, and then they started to understand how that applies to actually printing an object. Once he was able to learn about the material sciences through a basic introductory course, the students then got the opportunity to start designing an object on the computer. And it was his first time doing that as well. When he finally printed it and got a tangible output, it inspired so much of a love of science for him that his mother actually wrote a very wonderful and amazing letter to us after the camp about how much we really inspired him and what he's really trying to do now going forward in the future. And for us, that was really one of the sign that what we're doing is really what all of us are doing, not just us in general, but all of us are doing is really going to help create a new generation of innovators in the city.
Yeah, I don't know who you're thinking, but we have a student that we did not actively coach while she was on the FRC robotics team, but she is, when she graduated high school, she was accepted to the College of Engineering, the FAMU FSU College of Engineering, and is attending there now. And to us, that is a success story. She's not just that she's gone on to a STEM field, but she's staying local and investing locally. And she's now also mentoring our team.
Right. We have another student. We're still kind of young, so we're just now getting to the point where some of our first students that we started working with are starting to graduate. But we have another student, Robbie, who's at the airline mechanics school out at the airport. So he didn't choose to go into necessarily an engineering field, but he's in a technical discipline. And there's a lot of need for that type of worker as well in this society that we're in now. So that's another great example of someone who came through our program and they really liked working with their hands, and they were able to take that and move directly into another business. And we've also, as we're growing and interacting with people around town, Dr. Christian Nubicki, who runs the bipedal robotics lab at the FAMU College, he's an FRC alumni. Dr. Day, who's now the dean of the College of Engineering, his kids were alumni, and he was a coach and a referee. The provost at FSU has been involved in it. So we're running into people who are now were alumni and are now coming out of these programs, working in these technical fields, and they're able to give back as mentors. There's an organization in Florida that's for alumni that's run by a guy named Barry,
been working on the Artemis, Orion and Artemis system at NASA.
So they've hired a lot of alumni who come up through the FRC programs to do their stuff through internships and things like that. So.
Yeah, many of them, they will meet their future employers as competitors, and then they will get jobs right out of college.
So overall, what would you say are some of your
Yeah, well,
big goals for your organization?
One of ours is to purchase a facility, so we are hoping to have all of our activities under one location. For years, we've been moving from here to here, so we're hoping to do that location off of Thomasville Road, and also to purchase another shuttle bus. What we would do is go into various communities, pick the kids up, and bring them to the summer camp. So we're hoping to get another bus so that transportation is not an issue, and we can go to where you are and bring you to our programs. So that's two of our goals: another shuttle bus and purchasing a facility.
Yes, and we're actually looking to also have a facility as well where we can expand some of our objectives and activities throughout the year. But one of our largest or biggest priorities really is to just establish those partnerships, establish collaborations. We recognize that there is different organizations offer a different type of learning, a different opportunity for our young people. So we can't say that we know everything. We have everything a child needs. So building, establishing partnerships, collaborations really helps to bridge that opportunity for children to flourish and to succeed in this region. And so our goal really is over the next couple of years, let's build some partnerships and let's really cultivate a true ecosystem of creativity and opportunity for our young people.
I agree with that. I think we all need to get together. Yeah. So first goal would be to have a first program in every school in Leon County, whether it's a class pack or a team. We would love to see more robust STEM education happening and throughout the school system, and get every kid an opportunity to play with a robot and learn how to code. That would be a first goal. But do you want to talk about TallyRobotics?
We also are looking for a location. We're in a partnership development phase as well. We've working with Hanstein here at the Challenger Center and College of Engineering. We have a partnership with them. And we're trying to find a permanent home because we've been moving around the last few years. And it's really difficult to have to set up and tear down all of our fields every single meeting. It's a lot of work. But as far as developing partnerships also, it helps us to bring in mentors and coaches. We have to turn kids away every year. We can't be on teams because first requires that we have 2 coaches for every team. And if we don't have enough coaches, then we can't have an opportunity for the kids. So that's another goal of ours, is to start pulling in more mentors and coaches and developing those relationships. But we're also trying to develop a volunteer base so that when we have these competitions, we have a competition in the clay on December 3rd for the FLL. We need judges for those competitions. We need referees for those competitions. We need people to come and help us out so that we can provide these opportunities for kids. And this event is coming up.
They got taken out of the audio system.
March 24th through 26th.
It's the end of spring break, right?
It's after spring break.
For that, we need 10 judges and referees and cuers, and so we need people who can give us their time. How about
No, 6.
In need of volunteers and mentors as well.
A lot of our interns or help comes from Florida State University. We've had some awesome students, interns that help with our summer camp, with after school in Florida A&M. But yes, we are definitely open for more volunteers and more students from our universities.
Yes, and we do always are looking for volunteers as well and mentors. We do work with a lot with the universities, and so our programs really serve as a professional development opportunity for our graduate students. And so having come into the schools, having them come into their community centers and the workshops, it gives an opportunity for them to actually engage in some of the activities that they are learning while in school and some of the projects they're working on. And then also it serves as an opportunity for the young kids to see, here's a future that I can be, and here's a subject I may never have learned about before, and something I might be interested in. And so those are opportunities we're looking for as well. And our objective really is to find an outreach in just all of Tallahassee. I know there are a lot of kids who still haven't had that opportunity to actually engage in coding or robotics or just STEM in general. And so we want to make sure that all of Tallahassee's skills and talents are utilized and everyone is given an opportunity. I think bringing everybody together is really one of the best ways to really enhance the profile of the city and help it to become the next Silicon Valley.
Awesome, let's do it. So just starting to wrap up here, this question is for Jennifer, and not to put you on the spot or anything, but is there one piece of practical advice that you would give to someone who says, I want to start my own business?
I would say, just don't quit. Don't quit. Just don't stay focused. Don't give up. God, being an entrepreneur, people don't get us. My own parents didn't. It was like my mom and dad were like, "Are you sure you got this degree? You got this business degree? Aren't you going to go get a corporate job?" And blah, blah, blah. And that's okay. It's okay to do that, but you've got to follow your passion. Whatever. I'm just so big on that because I think that your passion is your purpose. All of us, we're here for a reason, and we've got to follow that. I've seen so many kids, they go to school and they major in something, and that's not really what they wanted to major in, and then so we're just teaching kids really early. It's okay, to follow what you're good at, to follow your passion. Don't give up. It may be naysayers around you, but just focus on your goal. And you want to be happy at the end of the day, and you want to feel that you're giving back and that, you're really walking again in your purpose. So I would just say, don't give up, stay focused no matter what until you reach your goals. So that's
And along the same lines, for the three of you, what would you say to encourage a student who is interested in pursuing a career, to encourage them in a STEM career?
I would say too that they should always keep an open mind. When you're young, you have so much in front of you. They don't think that you have to go down a certain path simply because that's what's expected of you. But be open to new opportunities, things you may not be aware of, things you've never engaged in before. Go to environments you've never been before, explore. Don't settle on just what's expected of you simply because society says this is the pathway you need to go. Learn to have the confidence in yourself and just try and figure out what the world is because, you got so much in front of you, so much time to figure it out. And eventually your time and place will come. So just be patient and learn to explore.
Would you bring that question again, please?
What would you say to a student to encourage them to follow a possible career in STEM?
I would encourage them to keep working with hands-on applications for what they think they want to do. I think students a lot of times get bogged down in all the requirements they feel like they have, whether it's all the math or all the science. I have to get so far in this. I have to test out this way. I have to, and they don't really get to have fun or experiment with the thing that they are looking at doing. And I really think there needs to be a lot more hands-on opportunities for students to investigate whether or not this is a thing that suits them well. And I think I would also encourage them to look at tech schools. There are more and more scholarship opportunities in that regard. There are so many jobs that I think are going to become available that aren't going to require a 4-year degree. So don't disregard something just because it's a tech school or because it's a 4-year degree. Like, look at all of it.
In that same vein, we're one of the only places where every kid can go pro. If you're looking at a sports environment, you're going to have single-digit percentages of kids who want to go down that path who are actually going to be able to make a career out of that and make a living out of it. But with these STEM fields that we're all talking about, every student can go pro. It can become their lifelong passion. It can become what they do for a living and what they do for life. It's not just a job. It's something that they can love the rest of their lives. Right? Just a table. And all of the things that we need for practical.
I love that, a practical way to go pro. Yes, before we open it up to Q&A from the audience, is there anything that we have not addressed that you would like to touch on without it being a direct question? Is there anything else? No? Okay, does anyone have a question? You gotta go. Yes.
Two things on judges. Do you have to have a background in robotics? Because
No, you do not have to. I don't have a background in robotics, and I've judged lots of competitions. So there are rubrics and there's training. Usually there's somebody in the room judging who has a background in some kind of engineering or science or STEM field that can help when coming to some of those more technical questions. But no, a lot of it is watching these kids give their fantastic presentations with this solution they've come up this year. The theme is energy. So they're coming up with solutions having to do with energy this year. So that's a lot of it. And core values is a huge part of everything first. Probably bigger than everything else.
Right. Specifically for the Lego competition that's coming up for judging that, there's 4 areas, and so the robotics competition on the table, that's 25% of their score, and their robot design is 25% of their score at the competition, and their innovation project that they're doing a presentation for is 25% of the competition, and their core values are 25% of the competition. So core values specifically, to put it into terms we can understand, is when they're giving their presentation, are they demonstrating that all the kids participated on the team, or was it just that kid there doing the work?
Right. It's inclusion. It's
and when they're giving their presentation, are they speaking over each other? Are they arguing? No, I did that, and stuff like that, so they can demonstrate that those are things that they're taking home and using outside of the first program. It's not just something that you do while you're at your robotics meetings. It's something that you incorporate into your life. So being able to do that and demonstrate that, so it's not just the technical parts of it, it's also those soft skills that they're being given feedback on at the competition, so that they can take that information and contribute.
Maybe there's a way to shorten that, and you know, I mean, things that come up. There's like talent shortage, but we have bright students right there, right? So is there something where there's like a network of technically among younger kids that I know there's a student related to a national math competition, right? So maybe there's something that y'all can do to kind of foster that relationship with kids.
Well, I think that's getting started. In a recent meeting we had with Dr. Day and Alan Hanstein and the Marcom director at College of Engineering, that is something that they want to see, that like an incubator to keep students in Tallahassee. And when we go to things like this or to the Launch Tally event, the whole idea is driving or keeping people here, right? Like we want to keep them here, so we have this massive talent that's happening here. I mean, exactly. And like you said, I think the time is right. Like this Tallahassee is ready. So.
And to touch on that, I think it's also it's going to require a greater commitment of a public-private initiative between the local governments and local nonprofits and organizations. I think understanding that an investment of that type is required to really help provide the resources for everyone to flourish is necessary for the kids that have that opportunity to start a business, to work as a researcher, to work or to develop an app. These type of things are what's necessary to really help the city become a place of innovation hub. And so having that public-private partnership, I think is going to really help lift up all boats here as we move forward in the future.
I would love to see a young Tallahassee chamber where it's just young folks. So I would like to, I'm going to, yeah, it's so, that's my desire.
I love that idea. I would also like to see more tech entrepreneurs and tech owners putting high schoolers as interns, giving them opportunities to see how that worked out. Because a lot of people who want interns just want college interns.
Does anybody else have a question for the panel?
Yeah. So my name's Noah.
I know.
I'm a senior currently at the school. I was kind of thinking about what we're discussing, building the foundation here and I've been talking to a lot of my peers and stuff, and although I'm kind of like the business space, it's interesting to hear from like that perspective. But a lot of kids getting jobs or classmates that I know are getting jobs in primarily remote, not with one of the offices at all. I want to know how that is a threat or could be an opportunity, something that scares you, or is there a different way to look at things?
I don't see it as a threat. I think it's really the future. The nature of work and the nature of workforce is changing. That's just the reality. And I don't think it's something that should be viewed as something that's going to disrupt or change how we operate or function. It's something I think it's just a matter of learning to adapt. Society has been transforming over the last century or two because of technology. And so I think we're just still in a place we're just trying to find how that's going to work. And I think eventually we'll, as a society, we'll find how that's actually going to, how it's going to function. So right now, this is new to us. So I think eventually we'll find how it's going to work in terms of working remotely and building opportunity in terms of businesses and operations. So I think it's going to take time, but eventually we'll find how it's going to work together.
It's like bee juice.
We actually, we still had teams.
Yeah, it was, and like you said, it's all about adaptation. So
No,
we had
they were
teams
talking
meeting through COVID.
like a
We had one that was sort of a pod. I think they all got COVID together. And I mean, they've worked at their house, right? They had their team at their house.
I know
They
that guy.
all did their own little school group
I
stuff
just got
together.
that refund.
And
I just
somebody
started doing
got
it
COVID, and they all got COVID together.
But I
But
more
you know,
than
they were fine,
we were
thankfully,
forward.
and nobody got really ill. But yeah,
I think so.
I mean, we
What
still
did you
had
hear what he
teams,
was going to do?
even though.
Yeah, we did a lot of Zoom meetings, so we would have.
Did you talk to him about it since then?
I guess I missed the fact that it was, did you sign it yet?
I did.
And you submitted it?
No, that's why I wanted to talk to you first. Because I signed it and I was like, wait a second. Because I got two on there. Is it the two
All
kids?
of the teams were there and were ready to start the competition, and they got shut down. And so there was a group of the
Basically,
whole
what I
class
was going to do was just cancel for December.
who did not get to ever
And
compete
so
in a real
effectively,
competition.
we would have lost it anyway. So I was like, well, we could make them a dig. But
Because they've shut down
for
their
50
freshman year,
bucks,
but
it's
it's
like
competed
whatever.
their senior year.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they had
Well,
2 years there where they weren't able to
yeah.
compete.
No,
But
this
now
one
we've
is
gotten back
because
to
when I went in there and
competitions
realized that they
again.
registered one kid
You
for the
can really
same day
feel the
twice in
energy.
two different
That's
transactions.
one thing that's kind of different is
I
when
knew
you're
it's
in
two different
a
kids. They
Zoom
must have
space
messed
or
up.
a digital
Well,
space like that,
no, he's,
you can't really feed off of each other's energy
they're both
necessarily as much
registered,
just
but
naturally.
Colin's registered an extra.
The personal
And they paid?
interactions
And it's just for this
having
refund's
people
just
come
for
to
the
these
23rd.
competitions. That's really the best way for us to draw more people in because you can actually see what the kids are doing.
I'll resend you.
Is it just one day this week? I thought you said it was two.
It's not.
Maybe it's just one day this
It
week.
doesn't draw you in
Email
as much.
setting, but they were still coming the 21st.
Like you said, about adaptation, being able to continue to
Resend
be
me
able
this
to
one.
compete and work, whatever the circumstances are. That, you have to record your video and send it in for your competition, or you have to go and do it in person. But we all had things that we've had to cope with and deal with in the last couple of years.
I gotta go up on the roof after this. I'll see if there's any vape cartridges.
What do you have to do?
I need to get a picture of the weather stem.
Let's see. Transaction.
Well, there were some competitions that were done virtually, and what COVID has done is like driven sims. So I think there were maybe 3 or 4 first simulators created during COVID so that students could just learn how to program a robot without having a robot. So it was really interesting to see what developed because of it. However, I think Scott's right. You're not ever going to get rid of in person because of what happens with that collaboration when teams are helping teams and everybody's working together. That's not really going to happen in that virtual space as much.
Right, and with the development of some of the simulators, it's been a real boon as well because then you don't have the cost prohibitive, the barrier of being able to afford the robot. You can design and build a robot and use it in this virtual space, and they simulate with physics the exact same field that is in the competition that year. So it gives them a good space to be able to try things out and design a robot and have it operate on the field and work in a simulator as well. So it removes that barrier of having to physically have a robot, having to physically meet together and design and build it. But, we've been to Worlds a couple times in Houston, and there's nothing like walking into this arena with 6 fields laid out, and you've got
450 teams
Yeah,
and
I mean,
no room in the stands. Yeah.
You'll never replace that with, I don't think, with anything in Meta or Web 3.0 or anything like that. But
And these kids are just as passionate about robots as any high school team in their football, or even I'm pretty sure they could rival some FSU fans. Like it's pretty intense.
Are there any final questions? Anybody else? Okay, well, I want to thank the audience for coming. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks to Dome Station because we would never know what happens, without Startup Week. So specifically Robert and Julia, who's been my go-to as well as I'm sure everyone else's go-to this whole couple of months. And then of course Found the Learning Center, this great venue with these awesome chill chairs in here. So they can have a great space. And so please, yeah, go ahead.
And I'd love to thank Teenpreneurs. She actually sponsors this event.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you for supporting each other. One of the pioneer sponsors for this whole week. We had Target Print and Mail, 22 Agency, and from Tallahassee with sponsorship. And we had plenty of in-kind sponsors as well. Leverage the kids provided us media coverage. This event would not have been possible without all the venue partners, without college, obviously the Challenger Center, and TCC Innovation Center. And so we hope that the whole week with more people, obviously, an audience. So we hope to do something like this again. Thank you so much.
Please come out on
thank you, everyone. We really appreciate you participating. If you would like, we have a few closing remarks before we head over to Yvonne Adams. Julia took most of my thunder, so thank you, Julia. I watched it. The sidelines. It's okay. It's all good. It really wouldn't happen if it wasn't for all of the hard work. There's about 6 months of hard work that goes into 6 months of work that goes into this event. It is not dead. I'm so tired. So but it wouldn't happen if it wasn't for the community. It really took. We had 30 volunteers. We had 14 different track captains. Each of those tracks had 2 to 3 events, which had numerous numbers of speakers. And then on top of that, we had as Julia mentioned, all the in-kind. I think we pushed close to $40,000 to $50,000 worth of equivalent value in those in-kind contributions, as well as close to $8,000 in cash contributions. But we did a ton with it. 50 events, basically all day, every day, all week long, and even some on the weekend. And we had got people jobs. We had people build relationships and friendships. This has been one of the most powerful events that I've been blessed to be at in this city and really beyond. So I'm thankful for all that everybody put into it and gave to it. Like Julia mentioned, it's only up from here. We told this city and showed this city what's possible, what we can make it work, being collaborative, coming together, working to highlight all that is here. All this stuff is here. We didn't go and, well, we had 2 speakers from out of town, I think, or 1 speaker from out of town. 1 or 2, right? So think about that. 50 plus events with most of the panelists being right here in our backyard. And some of them you heard, a lot of them you didn't. You didn't even know about them. You didn't know they were here in your backyard, that you see them at the coffee shop. This is really an event that highlights not only what we do right in our backyard, but in our region. And believe it or not, we are 4 hours away from 5 major metropolitans. If we show up and put up, we will draw a regional crowd. We have the potential for that. We have the capability for that. We know how to do that. And we go to all those events all the time. We can bring that right here to our community, have that impact in our backyard every single year, every single quarter, every single month. There is that potential to do that. And it starts with the live streams, right? Bringing that content out, showing the other ecosystems that it's possible. So one of the biggest reasons we did a Techstars Startup Week during Global Entrepreneur Week was really to start putting Tallahassee on the map. Those are both international programs. We are on a global calendar. I think we're in the top 5 for number of events in a week for Global Entrepreneur Week. All around the world, hundreds of communities, we had the most impact, top 5. That's a huge metric. I think we were number 1 in the nation and definitely number 1 in the state. So when you look back to this week and you saw all the events and all the activities and relationships, know that we put our name on the map. We say Tallahassee is here to get shit done. Well, I get the honor of highlighting some of the individuals in this week that put their heart and soul into it. And one of the ones that Julia put everything into this week. She really did. So I wanted to give her one of these. If you can't see it, it's like a little swirly. So without Julia, this probably wouldn't have happened. And being the tier, the level, the kind of engagement that we had with you, it really brings us the opportunity to take what we learned this year, the connections that we made, the understanding of how to do this, and really do it even bigger next year. So that is my biggest takeaway. Is that without people like Julia and many others, we wouldn't be we wouldn't be able to do this. And everyone in this room has the ability to do that. This is how simple this was. I went around, Julia and I, to 14 different people and said, hey, you do cool events in this part of the community. Can you do a few of them during this week? 2 or 3 of them, and highlight what you do for our ecosystem? We did that more than 14 times, but we had 14 people say yes. And they showed up, and it was cool. And we did a lot of awesome stuff with that. Now, talking about showing up, there's a couple of people who basically spent the whole week with us, which I'm thankful for. Dormant team's cool, and the volunteers are cool, but it's kind of cool to make new friends and solidify some of the other ones. So I have 3 trophies with a heart on them. The 2 people who really showed up, and that's, oh man, I'm blanking. Rich, Diana, and yes, okay, I was close. Well, if you guys want to come up, I'm pretty sure it's a tie for the number of events you guys have attended.
They attended like all of them.
Pretty much everything, every day, all the time. Definitely count you guys as friends now. We're Discord buddies, like, we got the thing. So I got a little heart. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Now I got, wait, hold on. These are signed copies of Jimmy's book. Okay, well, you can have another one. A round of applause. So the reason that matters is because these events for the community, right? So it takes more than us just putting these events on. It really is about the people showing up. So before we wrap, I really want Alan to come and talk about what this building is and what the Challenger Center is all about. And then I want to give you all the opportunity to share some of your best moments, especially the 3 that got.
Thanks, Robert. And before I say anything, since and I don't even have a trophy, although if I start the 3D printer now, I could probably make one. The person who needs probably the most applause for every event that happened here at Challenger is Reed Lambden. So Reed's over the top moving stuff around. If you're watching the streaming and could hear anything, or if you're here and could see anything, that's Reed right there to thank, and we appreciate him every day here. I appreciate you guys being here and considering us as partners in this event. Congratulations to you and everybody who helped make this possible. From the outside watching, since I had no part of organizing it, just to be clear, it was incredible. I mean, 50 events. My metric was that I kept seeing people from the community that I know and really respect here in the building, and got to say hi. And it's like, oh, hey, there's you. There's Mike Holland. There's all of these people over the course of all the days, and every day I keep seeing more people I know. Some folks who just don't get here to the center. So for us, a lot of this was about showing off our awesome facility. So hopefully you all thought this was an awesome facility. I am super proud of everything we do here. For those of you who were here all week, you got to experience some of the kids' activities that we do. So that's always fun. And that's what we're all about, right? We're about inspiring the next generation to learn about STEM and STEAM and go into technical careers. And a lot of that crossover, a lot of the sessions that I attended, I was like, oh, these kids will be here in 10 years, right? Like this event is for these kids 10 years from now. So I will add and finish with just a shameless plug for us. We are largely self-funded, and with increases in busing and costs for our schools to come here, that is largely increasing, and will make it harder and harder for kids to get here, especially the kids who need it the most. So I do have a little QR code here if anybody cares to make a donation if you're here personally, and then also if you're streaming online, challengertlh.com/donate, and we would appreciate it. I mean, effectively, we are a 501c3. We are the K-12 STEM outreach for the FAMU FSU College of Engineering, but we are largely self-funded, and every donation we get goes right back into getting kids in here or going out and touching kids in their communities and being part of their communities where they need it the most. So appreciate you all being here. Once again, thank you, Robert, for doing this, and we'll see you next year.
So
We'll leave the QR code right here, right?
If you're willing, I would like at least one or two of you to come up and share some of the moments that you experienced during the week that you found to be most memorable. We are recording it, so so the biggest thing is like for me, I kind of come from this, right? Like I've been doing this for a long time.
Maybe they're playing something down by next year. Thank you.
The banner's down.
Mention me in these things.
But when we go over to the hall,
You were awesome. I want them to give you an applause. Or do you not want them to know your name? Ray told me I could do it.
The shadows are fine.
You got it.
Yeah,
You need anything?
No,
I'm going to the roof. I'll be right back.
once I wrap up this stuff up, I'm,
Do you have time to head out before? Oh, you're not coming back till like 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
so I'm
Yep. Whose phone is that?
somebody here. I'm sure they'll come get it.
I will make you a new one.
She broke her 3D printed thing. Make sure somebody remembers that.
So thank you to you guys coming out here. And as we wrap the week, I just want to say, the team and everybody that put everything together for everyone that came out. Hopefully, next year, yeah, we're going to start early. I'm going to start planning. Being part of this community, being invested in this community. I've been here since about 03. I have a kid that we play. Looking forward to that event and judging. So I've told the team, and so I've been pretty selective in the things that I want to participate in this community. And I think I found the one that is going to get that attention from me. So made some great friends, made some great connections, actually hired some people to help us in starting the plan. So made some great connections. I just want to say thank you. Let's keep it reaching out to next year.
Any other comments? Well, I'll close with this. Your world is made up of the relationships you either foster or don't. And this event is all about fostering those relationships. Rich, we started 6 months ago. So it's probably going to take 9 months. And you're all welcome to be a part of that. This is a community-driven event. It takes all of us, all of our relationships, all of our knowledge, all of our background, to make this what it is. What makes it so powerful is that we come together as a community to show what our community